oversees higher education.
And we'll tell you why police say the kids in one house are responsible for nearly half of the problems at a local high school.
Tonight on Channel 4 News at 6, working for you.
On our broadcast tonight, Day of Reckoning, he's roundly considered the poster boy for bad behavior and a bad economy, and today we learned how his life is likely to end. Rallying cry, what goes down must also come up, and that describes the stock market today, but what's causing it? Risk factor, health news tonight, it's about breast cancer and a new way to measure those most at risk. And acts of kindness, our special series continues tonight with a story one of our viewers suggested to us about a man who truly is making a difference. Nightly news begins now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening. It's some measure of how we're all looking for good news in this economy that Wall Street today cheered a memo from the head of Citigroup. He said the bank is heading for profitability in this quarter. Considering that bank got $45 billion in taxpayer bailout money, perhaps we should all be congratulated on its profitability. Either way, the Dow soared almost 380 points, up 5.8%, biggest one-day rise since November. Meantime, the man who's been depicted as the bad guy in this bad economy today learned where he is likely to finish his life. Bernie Madoff, the accused $50 billion swindler, went to court today. We learned he will probably plead guilty later this week. He will probably spend the rest of his life in jail. We'll cover it all here tonight, beginning with Scott Cohn at federal court here in New York. Scott, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. We've known all along this case was stunning in its size and scope, but consider this. According to the documents revealed today, the Madoff scheme lasted at least 25 years, and the government is seeking to recover $170 billion. $170 billion touched by this fraud. Now, Bernie Madoff is preparing to face the music. There is no plea bargain for one of the biggest swindlers of all time. Instead, he will admit to every charge the government is throwing at him. Bernie Madoff will plead guilty to 11 criminal counts, including securities fraud, mail fraud, wire fraud, money laundering, perjury, and stealing millions of dollars from the pension plans of 35 labor unions. He'll admit hiring employees with little or no experience to falsify trades and communicate with clients, all to keep the Ponzi scheme going, and repeatedly lying to regulators. The charges carry a sentence of 150 years in prison. Bernie Madoff is 70 years old.
The fact that he's going to plead guilty to such sweeping charges, in all likelihood, he will be remanded into custody on Thursday.
But without a plea agreement, Madoff is under no obligation to cooperate with investigators trying to find all the money, a concern for his thousands of victims.
Mr. Madoff knows where those assets are. He knows where and who was involved, who else was involved, and it's critical to us that that information be turned over to the authorities.
Also unclear, the fate of those around Madoff, especially his wife, Ruth. She had an office at Madoff's firm, and the former high school sweethearts are said to be inseparable. But defense attorneys have tried to claim that the couple's New York penthouse and $62 million in investments are hers, unrelated to the fraud. Infuriating to Madoff investors who lost everything.
To ask for $62 million back, words can't even describe it.
Now Ruth Madoff is hiring her own attorney as her husband prepares to live the rest of his life in prison. Bernie Madoff will be back here on Thursday to formally enter his plea, and a number of victims will be given an opportunity to speak. He won't be sentenced for several months, but the judge could decide to revoke his bail and send Bernie Madoff directly to jail. Brian?
Scott Cohn starting us off in Lower Manhattan here in New York tonight. Scott, thanks. And now let's go back to that stock market. The big rally today. CNBC's Aaron Burnett is here to explain what to make of these numbers. We had a little fun at Citigroup's expense at the top of the broadcast, maybe at our expense. What's going on here?
Well, you're right. We're all shareholders, so we should be glad. I've got the memo right here that you were talking about, Brian. The bottom line here is Citigroup says it's making money, and the CEO, Vikram Pandit, went so far as to say it's the best quarter-to-date performance since all the way back in 2007 before the crisis began. So that obviously was the big reason we saw the surge, and you saw it with banking stocks. One other thing was Ben Bernanke spoke today to the Council of Foreign Relations, and he took questions. His demeanor was calm and confident. That gave the markets, I would say, some courage today. But also he was asked a direct question about letting big financial institutions fail, and he said that he thinks anybody who still takes the view seriously that we should let a big bank fail, he does not understand at this point, and he is not in favor of letting that happen. So that also gave the markets courage. One thing, though, to keep in mind, though, is it's one day. And we all know the broader picture is the market's still down 20% for the year, 50% from its highs. And United Technologies, as you know, Pratt & Whitney and Sikorsky, they came out and said, we're cutting our forecast for how much we're going to make, how much we're going to spend, and 11,600 jobs. So it gives you a sense of one day here is the market, but how far we need to go for the economy.
And the market's so jittery, we're looking to make sure people are calm when they speak to us. Aaron Burnett, we'll stay tuned. Thanks a lot for being with us. Today marked President Obama's 50th day in office. Halfway through his first 100 days, the president's first 7 weeks have been a whirlwind, with often dramatic movement in all directions on all fronts. The economy, health care, 2 wars, and today, education reform, which raises the question talked about on cable all day long, is it all too much for any one administration? Savannah Guthrie is with us from the White House tonight. Hey, Savannah, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. The president moved ahead today with his big agenda item of the day, education reform. But after getting that accusation that he's taken on too much all at once, he took some time to answer his critics. The president came to talk education, but first gave a history lesson to those who say his ambitious agenda is distracting him from fixing the economy.
I know there's some who believe we can only handle one challenge at a time. They forget that Lincoln helped lay down the Transcontinental Railroad and passed the Homestead Act and created the National Academy of Sciences in the midst of Civil War.
Still, the White House is making a concerted effort to put its economic team out in public to show they're fully engaged. Budget Director Peter Orszag on Capitol Hill today grilled on health care in the morning.
So I want to make sure that if we have a national system of health care, it's going to deliver the same thing in Iowa as it does in California.
The budget in the afternoon.
More spending, more taxes, and more debt. That's what this budget is.
Economic advisor Lawrence Summers will give a rare public speech Friday. And Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner appears tonight on Charlie Rose.
We start with a mess, a deep mess. It made worse by the deepening recession. And these things are feeding on themselves. And it's very important people to understand it's going to take some time to work through this.
Indeed, in the present crisis.
Speaking in Washington, Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke had some positive news, saying if the financial system can be stabilized, the end may be in sight.
I think that there's a good chance that the recession will end later this year and that 2010 will be a period of growth.
But after meeting with prominent economists today, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi left open the possibility a second stimulus may be needed, even as she defended the first.
It'll take a little time to get going. Some of it is already in the works, but we must give it time to work.
Well, back to education reform for a moment. The president laid out his big agenda, talking about merit pay for teachers, big emphasis on early childhood education, and a huge overhaul of the way students pay for college. And one more thing, Brian, he opened the possibility that the school day should be longer for students. He said he knew it wouldn't go over big with the nation's students, including his own 2 girls, Sasha and Malia.
Well, hopefully that will spark a longer discussion on education when the times perhaps are a little less dire. Savannah Guthrie at the White House for us tonight, as always. Thanks. Tonight we have a story about the type of food relief mission that, quite candidly, we see talked about a lot on late night television to help hungry people, largely in other countries, not our own. Sadly, the scene you're about to see played out today in the American Midwest, a place once proud of its industrial output, where today the need is great and good people have come to the rescue. The story from NBC's Kevin Tibbles in Elkhart, Indiana.
It is a bleak and miserable morning.
Right down there, you can head right down, yep.
And yet hundreds of cars make their way to the parking lot of a shopping mall in Elkhart, Indiana.
My kids need to eat, so I need to do what I can to take care of them.
They are here for their daily provisions.
There you are. Have a good day.
It's just hard being in this situation.
With the collapse of the RV manufacturing industry here, Elkhart's unemployment rate is a staggering 18%, the highest in the state, 4th highest nationwide.
We lost a lot here. It was the capital of the world, and it shut down.
Today, families, some with kids in tow, were given groceries and toiletries provided by the Feed the Children Network, started by Oklahoman Larry Jones.
How many other Elkharts are there out there in the United States of America?
There are more Elkharts than we'll be able to get to this year.
For many, the desperation is palpable.
It's hard for you to come out here.
Yeah.
Each box is designed to provide a family of 4 with the basics for 5 days. There's cereal, cooking oil, canned goods, mac and cheese.
We're in a very interesting and challenging time in the United States of America. Food being delivered like this in this country, for many of us, we've never seen it.
Driving his semi from town to town delivering the food aid, trucker Joe Holt gets a first-hand look at the recession-ravaged heartland.
I've been in a position where I needed help myself, so I understand where they're at.
By late afternoon, some 1,600 boxes delivered containing not only help, but hope as well.
When we hit bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's to come back up.
Here, they're hoping the free fall ends soon. Kevin Tibbles, NBC News, Elkhart, Indiana.
Incredible story. Now we turn overseas to something that's been the exception rather than the rule in Iraq lately, a wave of new violence. A suicide bombing in western Baghdad today killed at least 33 people, left dozens injured. The target, a reconciliation conference attended by both Sunni and Shiite tribal leaders. It was the latest in a series of deadly insurgent attacks in Iraq just recently over the past month. When our broadcast continues here this Tuesday night, information women should be aware of when trying to reduce the risk of breast cancer. And later, a story you told us about, a man who's putting in the time and the care and the mileage to help his community. By doing so, he is making a difference.
They tickle, they tease, and you sneeze. Maybe it's time to ask your doctor about Singulair. While many allergy medicines block histamine, Singulair blocks leukotrienes, an underlying cause of nasal allergy symptoms. And that's how Singulair works differently. One pill, once a day. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, ear infection, sore throat, and upper respiratory infection. Singulair, a different way to treat allergies.
Revolutionary Olay Ribbons Body Wash wraps you in 2 separate ribbons. The white ribbon cleanses. The pink ribbon moisturizes for satiny, smooth skin. Also try new Tone Enriching Ribbons Body Wash.
Lend us your ears, and we'll tell you about a great way to get your veggies. V8 Soups from Campbell's. A full serving of vegetables in a soup so velvety and delicious, you won't be able to contain yourself. Campbell's V8 Soups.
This might not be the best time to sell a home.
But we just can't wait for the market to heat up.
Need to sell? RE/MAX agents have the experience to get the job done. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Where do you want to be?
Applebee's 2 for $20 menu is back.
It takes 2, baby.
Pick your favorite appetizer to share and 2 of your favorite entrees. All for $20. The 2 for $20 menu for a limited time.
It takes 2.
Only at Applebee's.
I love softball. I live for it. I want to play with reckless abandon. Yeah, I want to play like I'm 18. When I play sports like this, I have pain. I hurt all over. To deal with the pain, I take a leave. It allows me to play 3 games a day and not hurt. If I didn't have a leave to help me with the pain, I'd be sitting on the sidelines. My name is Mark Hamby, and I'll never stop playing softball.
We're back, and in health news this evening, some new research points to another factor women need to think about when they assess their personal risk for breast cancer. Our chief science correspondent Robert Bazell has our report.
Lisa York is a healthy 54-year-old. But like so many women, she worries about her breast cancer risk, especially when she gets her annual mammogram.
I am a little nervous only because it's that once-a-year reminder that breast cancer is so predominant.
But how best to figure risk? Dr. Stephen Cummings and his team surveyed hundreds of studies of risk involving tens of thousands of women over 50 to find the best determinants. His conclusion? Doctors need to pay a lot more attention to breast density, the ratio of tissue to fat in the breast. The higher the density, the greater the risk.
That looks a little dense.
Radiologists can see density easily on a mammogram.
We found that a combination of her risk factors like family history and a measurement of her breast density from a mammogram provides the best information about her future risk of breast cancer.
Doctors will often recommend that women with dense breasts get a sonogram or an MRI in addition to the mammogram.
For women at highest risk, there are drugs, tamoxifen or raloxifene, which cut risk in half, but they do have side effects.
Still, many women want to know their options. Lisa York probably will hear about breast density the next time she has a mammogram, because doctors are starting to pay more attention to it. Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
We're back in a moment with Ann Curry reporting one-on-one with a spiritual leader in exile resisting an empire for half a century.
Are you like me? I have high blood pressure and I have high cholesterol.
But he treats both with one pill.
Catawit makes it easier to manage my two conditions. Catawit contains two proven medicines, one for lowering high blood pressure, the other for lowering high cholesterol, combined in one pill. Catawit. That works for me.
Catawit is one of many treatment options, in addition to diet and exercise that he discussed with his doctor.
Catawit is not for everyone. It's not for people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. To check for liver problems, you need simple blood tests. Tell your doctor about any heart problems and all other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Along with diet and exercise, Catawit effectively lowers both high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Two medicines, one pill. Ask your doctor if Catawit is right for you.
When you have your period, you guard your own movements. It's so difficult to sleep. That's why there's Stay Free Overnight, the only one with night guard sound and 18 anti-leak channels for maximum protection, no matter how you move. Wake up to a beautiful morning with Stay Free.
Frequent heartburn used to ruin my evenings, so I tried Prilosec OTC. It works all day and all night, so now heartburn won't keep coming back. Try Prilosec OTC, the round-the-clock heartburn blocker.
Tired of morning coming in the middle of the night? It may be time for 2-layer Ambient CR. The first layer dissolves quickly to help you fall asleep, and unlike other sleep aids, a second dissolves slowly to help you stay asleep. Until you know how Ambient CR will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Plan to devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep before being active. Sleepwalking and eating or driving while not fully awake with amnesia for the event have been reported. In rare cases, severe allergic reactions can occur. If you experience any of these behaviors or reactions, contact your doctor immediately. Side effects may include next-day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. It's non-narcotic and can be taken for as long as your prescriber recommends. Like most sleep aids, it has some risk of dependency. Don't take it with alcohol. Wake up ready for your day. Ask your healthcare provider for 2-layer Ambient CR.
Today takes on the mastery of fine painting. But is it art? Tomorrow on Today on NBC.
Nightly news at nightly.msnbc.com.
We're back with In Depth tonight, an important milestone in the troubled history between China and Tibet. It was 50 years ago today, Tibet's failed uprising against Chinese rule forced the Dalai Lama, Tibet's spiritual and political leader, into exile. And in the years since, he's often spoken out, but seldom as sharply as he did today, accusing China of carrying out what he called a brutal crackdown on his people. Our own Ann Curry spoke with the Dalai Lama in exile in northern India.
In a rare, blistering attack from his residence in India, the Dalai Lama today accused China of killing hundreds of thousands of his people and of turning his Himalayan homeland into a hell on earth. Even today, he said, Tibetans in Tibet live in constant fear. Tibetans around the world poured their anger onto the streets. A year after fury at Chinese rule exploded and China cracked down hard inside Tibet. In a recent exclusive interview with NBC News, the Dalai Lama criticized China.
Unfortunately, the Chinese government has carried easiest sort of method: suppression, killing, torture, arrest.
Some have called this cultural genocide.
Yes,
Do you use that phrase?
Yes.
In the past weeks, China has clamped the Tibetan region in an iron grip, deploying thousands of additional troops, arresting monks, detaining journalists. The Dalai Lama, who is considered a living god by Tibetans, was enthroned at age 4 and has chosen a path of non-violence to pursue autonomy for Tibet rather than full independence. Now 74, he makes a painful admission.
I publicly accept failure of our approach. So,
you are publicly accepting failure for the middle way approach.
That is concerned to fail.
But he says he's not giving up nonviolence, clinging to the message of compassion that made him a Nobel Peace Prize winner. These rare images inside Tibet show people who want to be able to practice Buddhism freely, worship the Dalai Lama, and control the flow of Han Chinese into Tibet. China says no and insists Tibet has prospered under Chinese communism. There, in recent days, Tibetans have been staging a silent protest against China, not eating Chinese food and refusing to speak Chinese.
We seem to be seeing the signs of a spread of political consciousness amongst ordinary Tibetans. That's a big change.
A change the Dalai Lama hopes will be big enough to bring about a negotiated peace with China, so this holy man, after 50 years, can at last return home. Ann Curry, NBC News, Dharamsala, India.
Among Lincoln historians, it was the stuff of folklore. It had to do with the first pocket watch Abe Lincoln ever owned, believed to contain an inscription of some sort. There were various rumors, but the watch had never been opened since the day Lincoln died, until today, that is, at the Smithsonian in Washington. Lincoln's watch was opened with great care and tiny tools, and there was the inscription, engraved by a watchmaker, a Mr. Dillon, who just happened to have Lincoln's timepiece in for repairs in April of 1861, on the very day the first shots were fired to start the Civil War. He wrote inside the watch, "Fort Sumter was attacked by the rebels. Thank God we have a government," and it was signed J. Dillon. When we come back, our popular series of reports this week designed to report the good going on across this country during these bad times.
Kashi's putting real natural ingredients where you'd least expect them. In frozen food. Our entrees are totally natural, with real nutrition from ingredients like fire-roasted veggies, whole grains, and grilled chicken. Let us surprise you, too, with a free frozen entree at Kashi.com. Get your surprisingly natural frozen entree free at Kashi.com.
Kashi, 7 whole grains on a mission.
Is that the hearty chicken rotini diet?
It's the Manhattan clam chowder diet.
It's different. It's the turkey noodle diet. It's working for you.
Counting calories never tasted better because 25 of your favorite Progresso soups are 100 calories per serving.
Is that chicken and wild rice? Yes.
Want to bounce back fast from tough pain? Get relief that's liquid fast. Advil Strong. Advil Liquid Gels. Faster and stronger than extra strength Tylenol on tough pain. Advil Liquid Gels rush relief right where you need it. Advil Liquid Gels. Liquid fast. Advil Strong.
The nose knows.
Now you're talking.
And nobody's nose knows more than Pinocchio's nose.
Gee, thanks.
Disney's fun-filled classic Pinocchio. Rated G on DVD and Blu-ray combo pack today.
I was discovered for my smile. Now I take total care of it.
New Act Total Care mouthwash kills germs, promotes healthy gums, rebuilds enamel, even strengthens teeth. New Act Total Care does it all.
Are you taking total care of your smile?
I've had asthma forever.
I've had asthma for as long as I can remember.
10 years.
I used to wonder why my medicine wouldn't help prevent
my symptoms from coming back.
I just figured it couldn't get any better.
And then I found out something I didn't know.
I found out there are 2 main causes of asthma symptoms. Airway constriction you feel, and inflammation you may not.
Most medicines don't treat both.
So, my doctor prescribed Advair. Advair treats both main causes to help prevent symptoms in the first place.
Advair contains salmeterol. Salmeterol may increase the chance of asthma-related death, so Advair is not for asthma that's well controlled on another controller medicine. Advair will not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be taken more than twice a day. Talk to your doctor about the risks and benefits of Advair. If you take Advair, see your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
If you're still having symptoms, ask your doctor how to help prevent them with Advair.
Find out how to get your first full prescription free at Advair.com.
Advair. Now you know.
Coming up, we've been waiting on the stimulus money to arrive at 6. See how it'll be used to boost Tennessee's higher education.
And we'll tell you why police say the kids in one house are responsible for nearly half of the problems at a local high school.
Tonight on Channel 4 News at 6, working for you.
We are back with our series of reports on those who are doing good things for other people, good things in this bad economy. And since asking you to send us your stories, we have been inundated. The truth is, we could dispatch 100 camera crews a day and never catch up with all the good stories you've sent in to us. We have picked out some favorites, like this email from Dottie in Maryland, who writes, I was driving through Delaware, where there are many toll roads. As I pulled into one to pay up, the lady grinned at me and said, your toll has been paid for you by the car in front of you. It was only a $2 toll, but what a jolt of joy that it gave. I had the money ready, so I passed it on to the car behind me, and she happily cooperated. I hope it kept going until it found someone who really needed it. Thank you for doing this. Then there's the email we received from Abby in Atlanta. She told us the story of a man who provides the most simple form of service. He's in it for his own reasons, and he has his own way of doing it. And it's important, we thought, that you hear his story, as told tonight by NBC's Ron Mott in Atlanta.
I'm going to let you sit behind me today.
At 75, Bob Langley's long retired, but still doing the most rewarding work of his life.
Let me tell you, I meet wonderful people. I get as much out of it or more than they do.
For the past 15 years, he's driven cancer patients like Carolyn Ellison to and from treatments in suburban Atlanta.
The greatest person that I've ever met is Bob. He's always so kind and just so pleasant.
Part therapist, part jokester.
Tina say you're good at what you do. I got him fooled.
Langley's job is to keep the mood light.
He's sympathetic to what we've been going through, and he keeps me laughing, you know, which means a lot.
It means a lot to Langley, too. His second wife, Gladys, died from cancer in 1992.
I got to thinking, what in the world can I do to help somebody else? Because we had so much help. Family and friends and neighbors and co-workers. They just came from everywhere and helped us whenever she was sick.
He honors her memory by using her retirement money to buy gas, as much as $800 a month, occasionally getting a freebie himself.
I'd like to give you this and thank you for doing such a great job.
This day, a cold drink and a full tank on the house. Langley's travels take him well beyond just down the road a piece. In an average week, he'll put 1,000 miles on the odometer, never once showing any signs of wear, his riders say.
Take it from me, he's a fantastic man. If I was 20 years younger, I'd run off with him myself.
Hey, Abby.
How are you, Bob?
Nightly news viewer Abby Brunks told us about Langley, a man she'd never met.
He's somebody I'll never forget. He gives, and he gives effortlessly.
And he plans to keep up those efforts another quarter century.
I've decided that the year 2033, I'm going to give it up. That's when I'll be 100. Ready to go? Ready to go.
A drive to help until Father Time tells him to park it. Ron Mott, NBC News, Atlanta.
We'll allow him to take early retirement. Tomorrow night, another story you suggested as our series continues here all this week and beyond. And that is our broadcast for this Tuesday night. Thank you for being with us. I'm Brian Williams. We hope to see you right back here this very same broadcast tomorrow night. Good night.
It funds the government. Republicans claim it's chock full of pork, but are they pigging out? Countdown with Keith Olbermann, tonight on MSNBC.
A dead girlfriend.
I think I might have killed Ava in my sleep.
An unlikely alibi. The Sleepwalker. A new Dateline, Friday, 10/9 Central on NBC.
Working for you in high definition. This is Channel 4 News.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 4 News at 6.
Tonight, we know people who were hoping the stimulus package would prevent cuts at universities are going to be disappointed. While higher education will get hundreds of millions of dollars, cuts are still necessary, but the news isn't all bad. Channel 4's Kara Kamari is working for you tonight live at the Capitol. Kara.
And the bad news is that there are still going to have to be cuts at colleges and universities. However, one of the vice chancellors of the Board of Regents described it to me as this way. Before they were jumping off the cliff, the federal stimulus package will let them glide off the cliff. Any way you look at it, though, they're still going to have to reach the bottom. The good news is that those double-digit tuition increases that many have been fearing for months, well, they're probably not going to happen. These days, many college students are worried about whether or not their majors will still exist.